thanks very much. Just VC finals, VC reserve finals are just coming up now. I thought I'd just put you under the pressure a little bit. And I know you're not you know all the teams like that, but I just thought we'd briefly go through.
Yeah, great.
So see how we go and make some comments, and we might revisit a couple of weeks' time to see whether our predictions
Love to.
are good.
Fantastic, mate.
Okay, well, let's go. We'll start with the 12 VC boys. Hawthorn have been dominant, really. They've won all their matches. Bulleen only lost one, but the rumour is their head coach is back now from the Olympics, so I don't know whether that'll affect what.
Well, Tom Maher does a great job with the 12 boys out of Bulleen, so it's hard to see them and Hawthorn not being in the final, but you never know. Finals is a strange time of the year. A lot of work's gone in for all the teams that made the finals, but it's really hard to see anyone other than Hawthorn and Bulleen making the finals this year.
And 12 VC reserve, again, that's sort of been a little bit more dominant with Knox and the Diamond Valley are hanging in there, and the new coach in there, I don't know, Al's gone in there and he seemed to have got the boys going. So what do you think with that?
Well, it's funny because you look through all this and you see the old powerhouse of Victorian basketball in there, and Knox and Diamond Valley have done very, very well. Knox's record is much better than Diamond Valley's at the moment. You would think they'd be favourites in the reserve grade in the under 12 boys.
Now, this one, tough one, 14 VC. It's halfway through the season. The teams that made the club championships, Australian club champions, Melbourne, Bulleen, Melbourne and Eltham, sort of dropped the case a little bit. I think it could be a Dandenong. Of course, they made it. They've gone right through, not losing the game. But again, as you say, finals. My threat with that one, I think, is maybe Knox might get up there, but I don't know. What do you think, Rich?
Well, I think, and I'm a Melbourne boy, so you have to excuse me for being a bit Melbourne-centric, but I know Melbourne have had a few injuries during the year. They've been doing pretty well. They might be a dark horse to come up and be competitive during the finals, but Darren Perry has got his kids playing very well out at Dandenong. I know his sons are very, very good players, so without doubt they would be the favourites, but I think it's going to be a pretty close situation in the under 14 boys.
You really don't know, do you? Because it's just on the night how it goes.
Exactly right.
Well, we'll go over the page. It's 14 VC reserve. Again, you know, Frankston's up there, and a club that has recently got into finals a fair bit in VC is Warrandyte. They seem to be going along quite good. So again, that could be a challenge there for everyone.
Well, I don't know these teams as well as I would like to, but Frankston's record is by far the best in the reserve grade. So I would suggest that they would be the favourites to take this out. Was.
Oh, okay. Now, the next one, 16 boys VC. Please don't be biased here, because you know they've gone through without losing a game. Will they go the whole season, Melbourne boys?
Well, Melbourne is a stacked team, but Diamond Valley is also very good, as well as Blackburn. And there have been upsets. And I'll tell you one thing was, a lot of teams go through the regular season without losing a game. Come finals time, it's a different kettle of fish, and strange things can happen. So Melbourne, whilst they are stacked and without doubt are the heavy favourites to take out this title, you just never know when finals come around.
And the surprise, I'm not putting anything on Blackburn, but they made the gold medal game at the Classic. So again, you know, they could be the underdog again coming into the finals, I think, too.
Absolutely.
16 VC reserve. Again, it's the second team. You're going to be biased here, but I think maybe Doncaster could be the one to go right through with that one. But 16-2 Melbourne boys. They got a young coach there in DP. And so could be anything, I reckon. What do you think?
It might come down to coaching. I know Dave Peters is a very good coach, and we'll just see how that pans out. But quite often in the reserve grade, you get quite a few bottom-age teams coming through. So teams that are doing well in reserve may very well do well in the...
The only thing I will mention there is the country team Ballarat. They could be, you know, they're a good program out there with Guy and that. So
absolutely,
they could be whatever sort of thing. So we'll flip over the page and go to the 18 boys, is it? Now,
yes.
Again, don't be biased here, but to me this one is sort of like whoever goes on the night, because Werribee, they finished sixth. They beat Knox or Diamond Valley. They finished third
recently.
Melbourne I was here last week and they really were struggling with form against Bulleen, who finished 7th and were very undermanned. So I don't know, what do you think of this one?
Well, it's final time. There's a different time of the year. I know that there's some commitments from quite a few of these kids outside of VC at the moment, so they're all over the place. But most of the top 4 teams get a second chance. I would like to think that there's 4, maybe 5 teams that can win the title this year. Of course, Melbourne, who finished on top, Knox, who are stacked and maybe the most athletic team in the league, Waverley, who have been a bit up and down of late, Diamond Valley, who have struggled with form the past few weeks, and then also the dark horse really with Mickey Luxford and the boys out there at Werribee are always a chance.
If Mickey goes, shoots well, there, it's really unstoppable.
Absolutely.
So that could be an interesting one, but it might be, because 16 2 years ago was a Diamond Valley in Melbourne. Do you reckon that could be the return grudge match? Or
I would think, and I don't want to offend anyone here, and there is bias and people will be, but I think right now the 2 teams that are probably favourites to make the final would be Melbourne and Knox.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that. 18 reserve, again a new association, or not new association, but an association fair out. Cranbourne's made top of the ladder for VC, so that's a fantastic result for them. I think they've got about 3 teams in VC this year, which is great. So I think they might be the one, but what do you think?
Well, it's really a toss-up, isn't it? You've got Maffra in there as well, who are in the reserve grade, and well done to them. It's great to see some of these younger clubs coming through and really producing some good teams. So I wish Cranbourne all the best, but Melbourne finished 2nd, Keilor finished 3rd, and Sandringham finished 4th. So I'm sure it's going to be a very hard-fought final series.
We'll just have to flip over to the back page, the last page for the 20 boys.
Yep.
And again, that one there, again a powerhouse, Diamond Valley, Kilsyth, and again Sunbury, which has made it in there, which is a fantastic thing. What do you think?
Well, I think you've, based on form, you'd have to go with Diamond Valley being the favourites out there. I know that they had a very strong group last year, and they're coming through and doing extremely well this year.
And some of those players from Diamond Valley would have been in the youth league.
Absolutely.
So they would have been really good for that. So, okay, well that's where we go. We'll go back now to the 12 girls. Sorry to put you under pressure.
That's all good.
So we've got 12 girls.
Yeah, 12 girls. Yeah.
There we go. Now again, Knox, Bulleen. Knox, again, Bulleen's got their 2nd, and then Melbourne's 3rd. Bulleen's got their head coach back from the Olympics. So Timsy, so what do you think? I think she could be a factor there that could influence a few.
Maybe. I saw a game earlier this year, and Michelle coming back's got to be a good thing. But Knox's under-12 program for the girls is very, very strong, and I would like to think. Well, I know you're out. I know the Basketball Victoria's out there, but I would think Knox would be the favourites this year. They haven't lost a game, and I know Timsy's going to be a factor, and she's a very, very good coach. Yeah. But Knox have to be the favourites.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll flip over the page to the 12 reserve girls, and this one here again, Diamond Valley, Waverley, Kilsyth, Keilor, Sandringham, Knox 2, Sunbury, and again Warrandyte. So again, this one's fairly tight, but I think maybe Waverley or Diamond Valley.
Absolutely. I have little information about these ones, I have to be honest, but based on the record, you would think Diamond Valley should take the reserve grade out in the 12 girls.
Okay, now we go to 14 VC, and here again, an association that's out in the suburbs, Hawthorn. Bulleen finished 2nd, Melbourne 3rd, Knox 4th. Again, I think those 4 might be the ones to push it right through to the final.
Absolutely. I think this might be the closest series in the entire VC and VJBL this year there's 4 extremely strong teams, not discounting Dandenong and Kilsyth in there, but Hawthorn, Bulleen, Melbourne and Knox are extremely strong. I really don't know who's going to win. Melbourne have been up and down with their form in their second half of the year, but Hawthorn, it's great to see Hawthorn up there at the top of the ladder now.
They seem to be having a really good program with their girls and boys getting a lot of strength through in VC.
Absolutely.
We'll they go to 14 VC reserve. Now again, some influence here, the top team, being assistant coach for the Melbourne 2 girls.
Well, I do know this league quite well because my daughter Grace plays with Melbourne 2 in the 14s, and we are a team that has some good potential, but like most junior teams in 12s and 14s, we're quite inconsistent.
Just depending on the night, if they're switched on and ready to go.
Depends how much red cordial they've had before the game, but we're strong, but also Frankston are very good. Hawthorn beat us last week, so they're a very strong team also, and I think it's going to be a closely fought series.
Okay, we'll go over the page now, and Again, this is an influence one because Melbourne finished top, Knox, and then Southern Peninsula. To me, Gerard's run a great program this year for there to finish in the top 3. And then you've got Bulleen with Gary and Eltham just out. My dark horse in this one is Diamond Valley, again with some influence from Al, has come along, could do some damage during the thing, but I don't know, what do you think? It's fairly tight.
Well, the Melbourne have 3 very, very good players in Georgia Pinot and Brittany and also Kayla. They made the state team this year. They've played extremely well. It's hard to go past them at the moment. They haven't lost a game, and but you never know. Knox, Southern Peninsula, Eltham, Bulleen, all very strong teams and well coached. And like you said, Alan McCautry out at Diamond Valley will probably pull a few tricks out of his bag and see if they can counteract the Tigers potentially.
That's right. Now, 16 reserve. It's good to see Broadmeadows finish first, but then we've got the powerhouse of Bulleen 2 in there, Sandringham and Melbourne 2 finish in the top 4. So I think again this one's fairly tight because they've lost. First 2 teams have lost 7 games, the rest only a couple more. Again on the night, I think it'll be just who comes up with the goods.
This looks like a Broady Bulleen 2 grand final there was.
Yeah?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay. 18 VC. Again, this is the powerhouses Melbourne, Dandenong, Knox and Diamond Valley, the top 4. Ballarat, again from the country, we've got in there, so they could make some damage over the thing, but Melbourne only haven't lost a game, have drawn a game, so what do you think with that one?
Well, Melbourne is strong, and it's quite funny and quite understandable that most of the teams that are doing well in under-18s, their girls are also playing in the youth league, yes. So they get the extra training, but Melbourne are very strong in the youth league. They won the youth league this year with Big V, and quite a few of those players are playing here, so I would think that Melbourne would have to be the favourites. They haven't lost, and but finals are a funny thing, you never know what might happen.
Pressure on. Well, we'll just flip over the page to the 18 VC reserve, and again with that one we've got the strange one was with this one is Bulleen. Their first team didn't finish in the top 5 in the first round. I know they had a lot of injuries. To me, I think Bulleen Warrandyte might be the final there, but what do you think?
Absolutely, their record is the best. I'm flying blind a little bit. I don't know these teams as well as I would like to, but based on the record, once again, I would say Bulleen Warrandyte final.
And then we'll just finish off with the 20 VC girls. Again, Knox, Bulleen, Nuttall-Wadding, Warrandyte, Melbourne and Frankston. The 20s is just top 5, and again it's sort of really on the night, I think, and the depending, I think might be a Knox Bulleen final there.
Absolutely, I would think Knox and Bulleen are going to be the 2 teams to play off in the final, but it's good to see clubs like Warrandyte faring well in the under-20 girls, and well done to them. And it's great to see the powerhouse clubs doing well, but some new clubs coming through also.
It's putting pressure on the smaller clubs, the Warrandytes, Cranbournes, even the Hawthorn. It might be a small club, but their programs have been fantastic. So anyway, well, thanks Nigel for that.
You do a great job too, Waz. Okay. I watch this every week, and well done to you and well done to VJBL.
Okay, well I might visit you in 2 weeks' time and see how our predictions go, and we'll look at the preliminary final. So thanks very much.
Thank you, mate. Thanks, buddy. Good man.
Thanks again.
Thanks, buddy.